Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a follow-up from last week's video where I'm going to be talking about 8 brands that I just have no interest in trying. This is going to be a little bit more of a negative video. I'm going to spill some tea and just tell you why these brands, I have no interest in trying them at all. Some of these are pretty popular brands, but I don't know, for one reason or another, they don't pique my interest, or I just don't want to. So we're gonna get into all of that. If that sounds good to you, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I would love it if you stuck around. But with all that, let's just get to roasting some brands. All right. Just like last week, I have 8 brands to talk about. I will link the video up above and down below in the description box, as well as all the makeup that I'm wearing of the video I did previously talking about 8 brands that are on my wish list and trying to get recommendations for you all, specifically for Black Friday, if you're interested in a more positive video. But I also wanted to do the opposite of this video and just kind of roast some brands and talk about why I don't want to try them. Now, this is just in good fun. Of course, like, everyone can spend their money where they want to. If you love these brands, I would love to hear what you love from them, and maybe I'll change my mind. This is not set in stone. In a year, I could change my mind and purchase something from the brand. As of right now, though, these are just brands that I have no interest in. Now, of course, let me just do the quick disclaimer of the background. I am not home, I am traveling, I'm in an Airbnb, and you will see my background change probably multiple times, as you already have, because we are now in the middle of August, and I have switched Airbnbs, switched hotels more times than I can count, more times than I want to. So that's my little disclaimer for that. I'm sorry if that bothers you, but I'm doing the best I can and trying to just stick to my content schedule that I have and not let my channel just fall to the wayside. So that's where we're at with that. Let's get to the very first brand that I have to talk about though, and that is REM Beauty. REM, is it REM or REM? REM, I don't know. REM just reminds me of the band, quite honestly. So that is Ariana Grande's brand, and it has nothing to do with Ariana Grande. I personally am like not a stan of hers. Like, she's fine music, but it's not something I go into my phone and specifically listen to, if I'm being quite honest. I kind of have my 5 bands that I've had since I was 15, and I listen to just those 5 bands, and that's about it. It has nothing to do with her, just honestly, the packaging bothers me. I do have some Ariana Grande fragrances, so like I said, it's nothing against Ariana Grande, but the packaging just really doesn't interest me. It's very like futuristic looking, and maybe that's like a little bit shallow, but it looks like the kind of packaging that would be bulky in my drawers. It wouldn't fit very nice. I'm thinking specifically of like their compacts, I think, but I kind of think the packaging's ugly, and packaging does play a part in my purchasing decisions. So it's just a brand where every time I see a new release from them, I don't want to pick it up. I've heard like mixed things, like good and bad things. I think some people really like her concealer pot. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, it's just not a brand that I foresee myself picking up. So that's the first one that I have to talk about. A lot of these are gonna be celebrity brands, I'm going to be honest with you. So the next one that I have is Trixie Cosmetics. Similar to Ariana Grande's brand, since I don't know how to say it. Trixie Cosmetics, like the packaging doesn't interest me. It's just, for this one, it's not futuristic, it's just a little bit more like childlike. And that's not really my preference. I don't really purchase a lot of products that look like cutesy or just like kids makeup, and I kind of get that vibe. It's also one of those, I think, online only brands. There's no way for me to really like see the products in person. So that would maybe change my mind if I was able to kind of see it in person and see the quality of the packaging. But this one's purely just a packaging issue. I know nothing about Trixie. I believe that they're a drag queen, but after that, I really have no idea anything about them, so I can't speak on them as a person. I've only just seen products pop up on Trend Mood and stuff like that, and every time I'm just like, no, that's an easy skip for me. So if you have products you love from them, I would love to hear what those are, because maybe that's one of the brands where I could see myself being swayed to the other side and picking up products from them potentially. Potentially, I could see that one being one. The next one for sure that I just know I'm not gonna purchase from is Polite Society. So that is Jared Blandino's new brand. Jared used to own Too Faced. Too Faced is also a brand that I kind of just like strayed away from and haven't really been purchasing products from. Not for anything specific, but I talked about it in like my New Year's resolutions tag video I did a couple years ago on just like I couldn't really see myself purchasing from that brand unless something really spoke to me, which, spoiler alert, like I kind of really like their new tin palette, the Appley in Love one, so that might break me, but I haven't purchased from Too Faced. I can't even remember the last time when. And this one does come down to the fact that I just don't like Jared Blandino. I just don't. So it's one that like, it doesn't matter what they came out with. If it was the world's most revolutionary product, I just can't see myself picking up a product from them. One, as far as the products now go, nothing's interested me. And then two, just on like a moral standpoint, I just wouldn't purchase from them. I have seen their foundation kind of go viral. It looks like they've done sponsored content with Michaela, so they have the budget for that, I guess, and I'm sure that they'll do very well as a brand, but the names don't interest me, the packaging doesn't interest me, and just the person owning the brand does not interest me. So that's one that like I couldn't see myself switching from. I'd love to hear your opinions if you've tried them, if they're really, really great. But for me, that's just a brand I will probably never ever purchase from and just fully skip over. Now, the next one that I have on my list, this seems to be really, really popular in the UK. So I don't know if I'm not just the demographic for this brand, but Made by Mitchell, a lot of people seem to like their stuff. There's someone that I follow that I'm friends with, Cole by the Ball. She really loves their products, but I'll link her channel down below. But for me, I don't know what it is. I am not interested in any of their products. I don't know. They come out also with a lot of face palettes. So I've seen, I think, maybe I'm wrong and I'm thinking of a different brand, but I feel like they have like palettes of like different shades of bronzers or blushes or like a blush book or something like that. And that's not something that typically I purchase unless it's from a brand that I really, really enjoy. Like I have the blush palette from Blend Bunny, but honestly, I probably shouldn't have bought that palette because it's not something that I'll use. So those kinds of things were specifically bronzer. Like I can only fit so many shades of bronzer and I don't want a bronzer book I can't use like all the shades from. After that, they seem to be, as far as their aesthetic, a lot more younger, vibrant, like they have bright green packaging than what I personally am about. I am 34, so take that for what you will. Not that like you can't be into younger things at 34, but personally I am not. Like they have this, I think just came out like this little compact. I don't know if it's an eyeshadow or a powder, but it looks like GAC almost. I'll throw up some photos, but I would hate storing that. And I don't know, they're just not a brand. Every time I see stuff from them, I just can't get into it. I can't be about that. So, you know, I could see myself switching and maybe trying one or two things, but I can't see myself being a diehard fan of this brand. And again, like it's just not a brand. It's a brand I would want to see in person, just like Trixie Cosmetics. So that's also just a brand like I'm fully just not on board with at all. The next one that I have is Caliray. Now Caliray, I believe the creative director or some kind of title from Urban Decay broke away from Urban Decay and started their own brand. Nothing that's come out from Caliray interests me. Nothing. It looks very boring. Like I can see why maybe Urban Decay, everyone was saying that Urban Decay was becoming a very sleepy brand and not creative anymore. And I can see that from Caliray. There's just nothing from their line that seems to be diverse, that seems to be of great quality. Like, it kind of just seems a little cash grabby, which seems odd to say from someone who's not like an A-list celebrity like Ariana Grande, right? But I don't know, like, I feel like their products, as far as like what I've convinced myself in my head, are subpar and just not thoughtful. Like, it doesn't seem like there's any passion behind the brand. And maybe I'm wrong, like that's just me judging a book by its cover. And sometimes that's, I mean, we all do that, right? Sometimes that's what happens. I can't try every brand known to man, and so sometimes you have to pick and choose, and sometimes I have the stupidest reasons for picking and choosing brands, and that's okay. But for, I don't know, I can't get behind that one. I could see myself flipping on it, like if I'm just being honest with myself, but it's definitely, I would have to get a really great deal from Caliray to like want to buy anything from them or see like really good recommendations. So if you have any from them, let me know. I think that Teresa's dad really likes their concealer, but I'm not 100% sure. So let me know if you have any recommendations from them. They're at least a little bit easier to get, and I could go into a Sephora if I'm ever in the US and like see them in person, so I would maybe give them a shot. Now the next one that I have is one of the more controversial ones, probably the one that I'm most afraid about to talk about in this video, if I'm being honest, just based off of like any kind of backlash I might get. But one of the brands that I just don't plan on purchasing from is Gxve Beauty. So Gxve Beauty is Gwen Stefani's brand. A lot of people seem to really be enjoying her products, and it seems like she's put some thought into her products. It doesn't seem like just a celebrity brand, I will say that, but I'll be honest, I don't know what it is about Gwen Stefani, but I don't really like her. I'm sorry, I just don't. She's not like the kind of person, or at least like, you know, I've never met her. My opinion's open to change always. But she doesn't seem like the kind of person that I would personally get along with. I am old enough to remember the controversy behind Gwen Stefani back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. So that does play a part for me. I personally like don't support the controversy that she was in, and you can look that up if you're interested in it. But I will say like her products seem nice. If I was to try anything, I really would be interested in the highlighter brick that she has. I think her packaging is really cool. I think it fits her aesthetic. I really have nothing bad to say like looking at the products and removing her from the brand, but just like Kat Von D, like I can't purchase from that brand. Something's holding me back. And I will say that I have almost cracked, because on her website once she did like a 50% off sale wide, and I almost was like, that sale's too good to pass up. But I ended up closing out of that tab because something inside me just told me like it's not a brand that I want to support. So, you know, let me know your thoughts in like a polite, constructive way. Of course, we can all have different opinions when it comes to things like this, but I would love to hear your thoughts if you have them, as long as they're somewhat nice. Please be nice to me. I would rather not like have a fight in the comments, but you know, my opinion's always open to change. Just for some reason, I haven't been able to like and want to purchase from that brand. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. And you know, maybe in 5 years I'll change my mind. Who knows? Now, 2 more brands I have to talk about, both still kind of influencer, content creator brands. I have One Size Makeup, and this is purely that I don't seem to be the demographic for One Size. So unlike Gxve Beauty, where really like that one I feel is a little bit more controversial, this one just is one that it doesn't seem like it's gonna fit the kind of makeup that I like. Patrick Starr, who started One Size, I think they are more oily. I believe this brand is geared more towards really oily skinned people, which I am not. I have normal, for the most part normal, kind of leaning dry. I can get like combination skin, so I can get oily in my T-zone, but I really don't need that locked and loaded makeup. Like their setting spray, I heard, is basically hairspray in a can. Your makeup will not move. A lot of their products seem very full coverage and geared towards oily skin people. So this is one where really I just am not the target demographic for that brand, and that's okay. There's a lot of people out there who have oily skin, who want that kind of look, and hopefully they love and use One Size Beauty's makeup products. But for me, this is one I just don't see myself purchasing from, because like I said, I don't think the products are for me. If you have normal leaning dry skin, please, again, like this is one I would flip on. Like I would try the brand, I just don't see myself trying it unless I hear some good recommendations. And then the very last brand that I have to talk about is Skkn By Kim. I think that's what she's calling it. It's Kim Kardashian's new makeup brand. And quite honestly, like I'm just tired of the Kardashians. Like, you know, I don't hate them like a lot of people do. I don't love them. But at this point, like, it just feels old, and I think that she missed her window, quite honestly. Her old brand, KKW, I do have some products from KKW that I liked. I have some eyeshadow palettes from her, some lip liners. I've bought stuff from Kylie Cosmetics. I used to really love Kylie Cosmetics back in the day, but then they had to shut down their brand and rebrand for whatever reasons. I'm not sure all the specifics around that. I think it just took too long for them to relaunch. Kylie Cosmetics turned around really quickly. They, you know, kind of shut down, reformulated, and relaunched, whereas it's been 2 or 3 years since Kim Kardashian's come out with new makeup. Like it's been quite some time. And granted, like she has her other brands, she has Skins, she has whatever else she's doing. I mean, I think Skins is the most popular, but I understand why maybe it's taken some time. I just think she probably lost a lot of people. I don't think that I'm the only one. And like the ship has sailed. The ship sailed, and like she missed her window of opportunity. It's not going to be doing as great as it did. As far as I know now, it's only online. So maybe if like she launched in Ulta or something like that alongside Kylie's Cosmetics, I could see the products in person. But being an online only brand and just like purchasing it for the name, the products do seem quite expensive for what they are. Like you really are just paying for the person behind the brand. I just don't see myself buying from them, not at all. So let me know if I'm the only one who feels that way. If you love Skkn By Kim's, I think they just started launching products, so it might be some time before we really hear a lot of positive or negative reviews on the actual products, not just like the person behind the brand. But I would be interested. I'm interested definitely to hear what people say about the products, and if this is a brand that will stand the test of time, because quite honestly, like I could see this brand just completely shutting down in the future permanently. But those are my 8 brands. This probably wasn't as hard of a roast as I imagined in my head. I don't like to really speak negatively, so any kind of negative talk to me is a roast, but I probably could have gone harder on these brands. I just didn't want to fully commit. And also, like, I recognize that my opinion's open to change. So I don't want to say that I'll never, ever, ever try these brands or anything like that. Trying to reel it back a little bit, but for me this was definitely more of a negative video, and I would be interested to hear any other brands that you have that are maybe on your no buy list for whatever reason, whether that be for just like you don't like the packaging like some of the brands that I mentioned, or you just don't support the person behind the brand. I would love to hear both your thoughts on all of that. Other than that though, this is where I'm going to leave you all. I hope you're having a great one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.